compromise. Okay. And then the last one is collaborating. In collaborating, we call it a win win. We both win. There are times when collaborating is not possible, and so you try to collaborate, but you end up going back to compromise. At the heart of collaborating is the word need. Need. What do I need? What do you need? And we have to look at, hey, you know what? It's not about me giving up some and you giving up some, but can we meet each other at the point of our needs? For this to happen, we really have to communicate and deeply. And it requires that we sit down and discuss. Now, the most common scenario that we use in trying to help you to understand the win win is the orange. There's only one orange, there's scarce resource, and so there's a conflict, and both of us want the orange. Clearly, on the surface, it looks like we will have to go to a compromise where I get half and you get half. That's the most obvious solution. But a collaboration is possible if we use needs. I assumed, which I shouldn't do, that you want the orange to eat because I want it to eat. When I asked, I discovered that you don't want the orange to eat. You want the rind of the orange because you dry them and you make mixed peel because that's what you sell. Or you do something else with the orange skin. You do the bug spray or you do whatever with the orange rind. And so, really, you wanted the oil from the skin and I wanted it to eat. But I assumed. And so, how do I get to the heart of what you need and what I need? We have to communicate because then it becomes an easy win win. Oh, really? All you wanted was the skin? Here you go. And I peel the skin nicely, package it, and give it to you. And I sit down and enjoy my orange. We both won. Now, we can also apply this to many scenarios in our workspaces. One of the common one that we encounter is something as simple as the air condition. I don't know about your office spaces, but air condition is always a cause for conflict in a lot of workplaces. Somebody's always cold, and somebody's always hot, and it's always a challenge. And so, how do we normally resolve it in a lot of our workspaces? And you can tell me how you resolve it in yours if it exists. So, what normally happens? The person who comes first controls the temperature. And so if I get in early and I am the one who's always hot, you know that temperature is going to be on Alaska mode. And so when the person who's always cold comes in and maybe half an hour later, they say, oh, it's so cold. Why is it so cold? And either you don't hide the remote already or you are upset now because they want to, right? And sometimes words are thrown around. The person who is always hot is being accused of, hot flashes and going through changes in their life. The person who is always cold is being accused of having poorer blood, and and it can become a cause for conflict in our workspaces. So my question to you is, how can we resolve that issue? How can we come to a win-win when it comes to something like the air